Hi, I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. It is Tuesday, so that means I will be critiquing one of your paintings or drawings. For these critiques, I just offer the same type of advice I offer my students in my classes. I am by no way saying that my way is the only way, they're just suggestions. If you are interested in having one of your paintings or drawings critiqued, head over to my website at lachri.com/critiques to submit your work there. Today we are going to take a look at this horse painting by artist Jenna Phillips. This is an 11 by 14 inch painted in acrylic. Jenna is fairly new to painting, but she does have a website with more beautiful paintings. You can check that out. The link is below in the video description. Jenna said that her goals were realism with a strong contrast between the background and the subject, maintaining good lighting. Congratulations, you definitely succeeded. The first thing that stands out to me about this is the lighting. The lighting on this and the strong contrast is just gorgeous. You're drawn to this piece, like really drawn to this piece, because the lighting is so interesting and there is so much contrast. Strong contrast is one of those things that I think is so scary for new artists especially to grasp. So I am really excited to see what you do in the future if you're already starting off at this point. I also really like your brush strokes in this piece. There's just a nice flow and nice consistency throughout. The way that you've painted the mane, not even talking about how awesome the lighting is there, but the fact that you've got clumps of hair along with some of the individual strands without doing individual stringy strands throughout the whole piece. That's really, really nice. A lot of people, new artists especially, want to paint in every strand of hair, whether it be on a horse or a person, but that type of hair, they want to paint in each individual strand thinking that that detail is what's going to make it look realistic, and it's really not. When you look at a person or you look at a horse, their hair, you see those individual clumps, not each individual stringy strand. Yet you've still gone back and put in a few of those individual strands, just the right amount. It's beautiful. Your color palette on this is also nice. It's very muted. It just works so nicely with the entire piece. You didn't go overboard with any of your blues or any of those other colors. Everything's just very subtle. Very nice, which means your focus really is your lighting and your contrast in this one. The only two things that I might adjust on this one, the vein that is going from his eye down his face, it's a little bit strong. That's a bit too harsh considering the rest of the piece. I would tone that down. It's just pulling too much attention right there, and you don't have that sort of detail on the rest of the piece. So it's drawing your attention away from the eye instead of keeping it right up in that area. Detail is great. You guys know I love detail, but adding detail isn't necessarily going to improve a piece. In this case, your lighting and your contrast is really what makes this. So adding more little teeny tiny detail, and in this case, it's a small detail, but it's a harsh contrast. It just doesn't blend in nicely with the rest of his face. So I would just tone that down a bit. The next thing on the lighting on this, the way that you've got the light source, the jawline, the upper section of his jaw, it's hitting light on the underside and the upper section. If it was coming from the upper section, that would mean you would have two light sources in this. That second light source would also be highlighting the back of his ear some, or kind of the middle section of his ear. It's not, so I would just tone down a bit, just put a glaze over that upper section of his jaw, which just makes the lighting make a bit more sense. But this piece is, like I said, a great example of using good lighting and using good contrast and how that just draws you into it. If this painting were hanging on the wall with a whole bunch of other paintings, the other paintings could have the exact same amount of detail, but it's the lighting and the contrast in this one that just draws you in. You've done a fabulous job. And Jenna, I checked out your website. You have an owl that you painted as well with this lighting that, like this, it just has this glow to it. Beautiful, beautiful work. Definitely keep up with this lighting and contrast like you're doing, because that is what's going to set you apart. You were so amazing with it. For anyone else who would like to submit their original work for critique, head over to my website at lachri.com/critiques. Link is below in the video description. You can submit your work there. I have new critique videos every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, and new time-lapse painting and drawing videos every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Make sure to come back tomorrow, where I will be doing a demonstration on this black swan in oil over acrylic paint on canvas. I'll see you guys tomorrow.